Explosive life mobbing with Glare has just gotten a million times better. As you can see here, I'm already hitting over 1 million damage on the mobs as non-attribute consistently. Crits go up and down, but once my abilities stack up, you can see the millions absolutely everywhere, and that 2.8 million crit is absolutely juicy. Now, I have been working closely with Glare's anatomy, so massive shout out to him. He's basically been the heart and soul of this build along with myself. This is a collaboration build between us, so let's get on into the video. So starting off with the modules, this is what you are going to run. Now we are still of course using the explosive life because that is what this build is based off. Next up, we are going to be taking advantage of just maxed out cooldown and HP. So for cooldown, we've got MP conversion, nimble fingers, as well as multi-talented. Then we've got 4 HP, HP amp and increase HP. Then for damage, we are using power increase, non-attribute amplification, and skill simplification to max out our damage all the way. Then just for our casts being costing a little bit less, we're using maximized conservation. This will also allow us to start the chain with 2 of the red orbs, so then we can just go all in, and then just range, so we're just using skill expansion, and that is basically it for the build. Now there is going to be something very specific that I will show you in this shortly as well, so yeah, we'll get on into that after we've gone into the setup and everything else for this build. Next up, let's talk about the reactor and the external components. Now for the reactor, you are going to want the hand cannon mounting. That is because our main weapon is going to be the peacemaker. This is just a stat stick for us to run around with, so you don't have to like go crazy and make a build on it or anything, so don't worry about that too much. For the 2 stats in the middle, you want non-attribute and dimension, and then for the 2 stats at the bottom, your honest best bets is going to be dimension and non-attribute, which is going to give you like the most damage out of this build regardless. Now with the correct reactor, I believe I would have been able to go over 3 million. Even putting crit damage on this reactor would not really be worth it, just because generally you're not going to be hitting the most crits, but when you do hit a crit, it will be a bit higher than normal. But I would just suggest dimension and non-attribute on here for the maximum damage. Next up, for your external components, this is what you are going to want to run. You are going to want to run the Enlightened Mage set in its entirety. Now for the actual stats on here, what you're going to be after is going to be fire resistance for your top stat, as well as max HP. Then for your second stat, HP recovery modifier and chill resistance would be best for Glare. Then for your third stat, electric resistance and defense would be best, and then for the 4th stat, toxin resistance and max shield, even though it really doesn't matter. Item acquisition would be fucking fine too, but you're fine. You just need toxic resistance on here and then you're good to go. Next up, let's talk about the weapons real quick. Now like I said, I do use a peacemaker and I use this for sprint, so there's 3 20% sprint cores on here, and that is going to be the main thing I use on the peacemaker. If you do care about the modules I'm running for whatever reason, this is what I am running, but you really don't even need a build. I would just suggest running Defense Master as well as running Tactical Change, and then you're basically good to go. As for the Malevolent, this is the Malevolent that I've been using. It is the same Malevolent you would use in a normal Purge situation, so the Purge 30 Chill Malevolent is going to be the Malevolent that you would like to run with this build as well. Next up, the Restored Relic, our final weapon. Now this one is still here, the exact same setup as Purge as well. Glare with her Purge stuff is really concrete, really set in stone, so these are the weapons you are going to want to be using with Glare as well. Next up, let's talk about the Descendant Arcade tuning tree. Now with the tuning tree, this is what I have gone with. Now honestly, you could go a little bit back and forth, and you could even replace the health on this tree with something else. However, I think that this is the most optimal way to run the tree, so yeah, this is my own personal take. You could get rid of all this HP over here and just go for HP down there, completely up to you, but this is the tree that I run. So now that we've gotten all the build and the setup for Glare out of the way, let's get into the gameplay. So I'll get on into it right now then. So let's start off with some 400% gameplay, and this is in the Magister Lab. Now if you do want to maintain infinite ammo on this Glare build, what you need to do is use your second ability first, and then this will proc multi-talented and you'll get cooldown, and then you use your third ability, and then your third ability is going to have infinite uptime again, and you just rinse and repeat between your 2 and your 3. Just wanted to throw that out there real quick, but you can see this damage is beautiful. 100k 1 million absolutely everywhere. It's just deleting everyone and everything, and that 2.8 million crit, like I said in the intro, is just beautiful. Now this Glare build doesn't really work the best in solo, and this relies more so for teammates to essentially get some kills so that Glare can start the chain. Now you can do this yourself, however I just think it's better if Glare takes a little bit of a backseat and plays a little bit more of a supportive role, specifically with this build. Now this is me trying to force force the mobs to drop the orbs. So I just use the Malevolent a little bit. Then once they do start dropping it, then I can just clean sweep before anyone else even shows up. My teammates in this lobby were a little bit slower than I would have preferred, but it is what it is. Everyone plays at their own speed, you know, it's all good. But you can see here that he's going ahead of me, and I'm assuming that he's gotten his kills. Once I see he has gotten some kills with that ability with this arena, I will just start spamming my chain, and you can see here the chain damage is just insane. I would say that this is like the strongest mobbing build in the absolute game, debatably, but I just think that the consistency of it and the fact that it only works in co-op play, or it works significantly more effectively in co-op play, is the reason why it's not. I would still rather run a bunny in a solo, but if I'm running a public, I am absolutely going to be using this glare. It is a lot of fun. So let's just quickly skip on over to the boss, and let me show you how I deal with the boss with this, because it is essentially just the same as everything, just Malevolent and infinite ammo. You know, it's just regular gameplay, so I might as well get on into it already. My teammates are catching up, so you know, giving them a second, and there's my little bit of a use for a restored relic. Relic is more so used in Purge, but you won't really be using this build in Purge, so you don't need to worry about that one too much. Now you can see here I did use my third ability, just spraying the mob down with the Malevolent. Easy as it gets, and you can see there I did actually use multi-talented right before, so my cooldown there was actually instant. So that is how you would use it as an example. But you can see here regular glare gameplay absolutely rips apart the bosses. If you don't use your multi-talented to get the fast cooldown on your third ability, you will still even still have like a second or two to wait, so it's not actually really that bad if you miss it, but if you don't, it's going to be pretty nice. With mission complete, I can guarantee you I've got the most damage in the absolute lobby, because this build really do be out here out damaging in Ace, Freyna and Bunny combined at times, because it is kind of crazy. So let's quickly have a look at the mission results, and let's have a look at the damage before we move on to some Sigma sector gameplay. As you can see here, in a 2 minute 45 second Magister Lab, we hit 500 million damage. That is insane. Onto the Sigma sector we go. Now there's no real point for me to elongate this. You guys know this build just absolutely fucking rips apart. You can see here in Sigma as well, I'm just proccing it, waiting for the mobs to spawn in and absolutely violating them for millions all over everywhere. It's just such a beautiful build, and you just love to see it. And you can see even now my non-attribute normal hits are reaching the realm of 2 million damage as well. Like, oh man, it really is just mind-blowing how amazingly strong this glare build is. It is something truly special. Now over here, we're just going to take care of the bosses, and I'll leave it at that for this video. So these bosses are going to go down fairly fast. As you can tell, you know, I'm glare, I've got a Malevolent. Yeah, they're not surviving very long. You could also replace the Malevolent with the dagger, or even replace the relic with the dagger. It is all personal preference, but I just like to use the Malevolent because it's convenient. Pattern Elias and a boring ass phase. Yeah, you know how it goes. And I don't know why my teammates have decided not to kill the other mob. It's so strange, but it is what it is, and I'll just take care of both of them. See here, it takes me like a second or two, but if you do use Glare second and then her third ability, you can see that cooldown on my third ability is literally instant, and I would have had unlimited time there. Also, I did take it down because, you know, I am a million IQ player. No, I'm an idiot. So yeah, this is essentially everything that you need to know about this Glare build. So once we rip apart Pattern Elias now, that's basically going to be us done. So yeah, I'll take this opportunity to say thank you for watching this video, and I hope you have enjoyed. I've got plenty more updated build videos coming soon, so make sure to subscribe if you're new. And if you haven't already dropped a like already, that would be greatly appreciated. I am on the road to 14,000 subscribers before the release of the Season 3. So please do subscribe if you are new. And yeah, that's basically been this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you did, please just smash that like button, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace!